Hello, it's Mama, and this is Mama's Corner. And you can see that I have some nice stories and a neat little rocking chair that I'm sitting in that used to be my grandmother's. And some of these stories have been handed to me from my mother and my grandmother. And some of them I read to my children. So I hope you enjoyed today's story. It's one you know, but I'm going to read you one right after that maybe you don't know. So this little one is called The Three Little Pigs. Well, once upon a time, there were three little pigs. Let me move my chair. There were three little pigs. Their mother could not keep them, so she sent them out to seek their fortunes. The first little pig met a man with a bundle of straw. "Will you give me some straw?" asked the pig. The man gave him some straw, and the little pig set out to build his house. He was finished in no time at all. But before long, there was a wolf at the door, and he called out, little pig, little pig." But the little pig answered, "No, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." "I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in," cried the wolf. And then he huffed and he puffed and he blew the house in. And that was the end of that little pig. Now, the second little pig met a man who had a bundle of sticks. "Will you give me some of those sticks?" asked the pig. The man gave him some sticks, and the little pig set to work building a house. He was finished in a very short time. Before long, the wolf came along. He knocked at the door. Little pig, let me come in." But the little pig answered, "No, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." "Well, then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in," cried the wolf. Then he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed and he blew the house in. And that was the end of the second little pig. Oh no. The third little pig met a man with a load of bricks. "Will you give me some of those bricks?" asked the pig. The man gave him some bricks, and the pig set to work building a house. It took a long time, but finally he was finished. We wonder why it took so long to build a house of bricks. Maybe you know why. Then along came the wolf. He knocked on the door. Little pig, let me come in." But the little pig answered, "No, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in," cried the wolf. So he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed and then he huffed again and puffed some more, but he could not blow that house in. Then the wolf thought of another idea. Little pig, I know where there's some delicious turnips." "Where?" asked the little pig. "Not too far from here, in a farmer's field," replied the wolf. "If you will be ready tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock, I can show you where." "All right," agreed the pig, but he got up at 5 o'clock instead that morning, and he went to find the turnips all by himself. At 6 o'clock, the wolf knocked on the pig's door. "Are you ready?" he called. "Am I ready?" laughed the pig. "I've already been there and back, and now I have all the turnips I can use." So the wolf thought up another plan. Little pig, I know of an apple tree that's loaded with apples." "Which one do you mean?" asked the little pig, and the wolf replied, "It's far down the road. If you can be ready at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, I will show you where." The little pig got up at 4 o'clock the next morning and found the apples all by himself. He was still up in the tree when the wolf arrived. "So there you are," cried the wolf. "Why didn't you wait for me?" The little pig called down. I've been saving the best apples for you. Here, I'll throw one down." But he threw it so far that the wolf had to chase after it. There he is. Then the little pig jumped down from the tree and ran all the way home with a sack full of apples. The next morning, the wolf knocked on the little pig's door. Little pig, he called. "There's a fair in town. Would you like to go there with me?" And the pig replied, "Well, yes, of course." "What time will you be ready?" "At 3 o'clock in the afternoon," said the wolf. "Well, I'll be ready for you," replied the little pig. And then as soon as the wolf had gone, the little pig went down to the fair by himself. He brought a butter churn and was on his way home when he saw the wolf coming. So he climbed into the butter churn and rolled down the hill towards the wolf. Oh, this frightened the wolf so much that he ran all the way home. Can you see the little piggy in the butter churn? There's the butter churn. Oh, there he is right there. The next day, the wolf knocked on the little pig's door and said, "Yesterday, while I was walking to a fair, a great round thing came rumbling and tumbling at me, and it frightened me out of my wits." The little pig laughed. "Then you were frightened by me. You see, I went to the fair and bought a butter churn, and when I saw you coming, I climbed into the churn and I rolled down the hill." This made the wolf so angry that he would come down the chimney and eat the little pig. Then he got a ladder and climbed up on the roof. Meanwhile, the little pig built a big fire in his fireplace and hung a huge pot of water over the fire. Before long, the water was boiling and bubbling, and down came the wolf down the chimney, right into the pot. Then the little pig put the cover on, and he made a delicious stew, which he had for supper that night. And of course, he lived happily ever after. So that's the true story of the little pigs. Three little pigs. So stay tuned for the next story, which has to do with the pigs and the wolf, but somebody else is talking about it. Bye-bye.